They said Gucci Mane isn't really Gucci Mane. That's Hobson. They gave him plastic surgery to become Gucci Mane. And now they saying Damar Hamlin isn't Damar Hamlin. And if you ever watched the TV show The Boys, you know about Noir. You know how Noir died, but they had somebody else come back to play him. That's crazy.
Looks like those wild talks about Gucci Mane being cloned might not be all cap after all. Kanye West just threw himself into the drama and spilled what he claims are the real details behind Gucci's so-called clone story, and it's straight up wild. Kanye said the original Gucci Mane supposedly passed away years ago while doing time, and that his wife, Keishia, isn't just his partner. She's allegedly his handler, getting paid to keep this clone version under control. Now things are starting to click, especially with how she's always running his socials and, as folks are saying, pushing him into some strange choices. It's wild because Gucci's ex, M. Breezy, and even Nicki Minaj once tried to warn people about this exact thing, but no one believed them. People brushed them off like they were crazy, and now, years later, everyone's side-eyeing the situation hard. This whole cloning rumor goes way back to 2013, the year Gucci had that unforgettable Twitter meltdown that shook the whole game. He was calling everybody out, showing zero mercy. Nobody got a pass, not even the ones who used to rock with him heavy. He went off on Nicki Minaj, Waka Flocka, T.I., Angela Yee, French Montana, Tyga, Birdman, and even Black China. It was pure chaos online. And when he booted Waka out of Brick Squad, claiming Waka was being disloyal and moving weird behind his back, that's when fans really started saying something's off with Gucci. That chaos back then already had people whispering that something wasn't right. But now with Kanye stepping in, this whole story just went off the rails. He didn't hold back either. Kanye even claimed he ran a train on Nicki Minaj and Angela Yee, then flipped around and called out Yo Gotti, accusing him of being fake and stealing Gucci's whole energy. The list of names he dragged just kept getting longer, and fans couldn't believe what they were reading. Right after that explosive moment online, things spiraled even more. Gucci got arrested, and that's when all the clone theories really started blowing up. Cops in Atlanta said they got several calls about Gucci wilding out in traffic, allegedly yelling threats and acting out of control. When officers pulled up to calm the situation, Gucci didn't chill. He actually rushed at them. Still, the police managed to get him under control, and once they searched him, reports say they found both illegal stuff and a firearm. It wasn't his first run-in with the law either, not even close. But this was the one that finally sent him straight to jail. And this wasn't just a random arrest. Before that, Gucci had already made headlines for cracking a man over the head with a champagne bottle during a heated night at a club in Atlanta. So when he finally stood before the judge, the court saw a pattern of reckless behavior and they weren't playing around. The verdict came down hard. 3 years and 3 months behind bars. Still, because of good behavior and some time credits, Gucci managed to get out after about 2 years, and that's when people really started saying, this new Gucci don't look like the old one. While Gucci was locked up, the story everyone heard was that he had completely turned his life around. They said he cleaned up, focused on his body, and found a new sense of clarity. But whether that's the real story or just what they want people to believe, that's where things start getting murky. Inside prison, Gucci started opening up like never before, saying his wild behavior was because he'd been constantly high on lean. He even shared, "Woke up the other day out of this hospital bed, and I'm so embarrassed and ashamed of my behavior that was brought to my attention." That line had people shocked, but also wondering if something deeper was going on. Still, plenty of fans swear the man who walked out of prison later wasn't the same Gucci who went in. Something about his face, his energy, even the way he spoke, it all felt different. Gucci got real emotional in one message, saying, "I just want to man up right now and take this time to apologize to my family, friends, the industry, and most of all, my fans. I'm sorry." He admitted that he'd been drinking lean for more than 10 years and revealed just how much it had wrecked him. He wanted to be the first rapper to be fully honest about it, saying, "I'm addicted to lean, and that stuff ain't no joke." He confessed how the addiction messed up his memory so bad that he couldn't even remember half the wild things he'd done or said. But instead of making excuses, Gucci told everyone he was ready to face it head on. Even from behind bars, he promised he'd get real help once he got out and planned to go straight to rehab. He thanked his real supporters who stayed loyal through the darkest times and ended with a heartfelt plea. "Please keep me in your prayers." Fans were touched, but others couldn't help wondering, was that really Gucci talking or someone else behind the mask? When Gucci finally stepped out of prison, it was like seeing a completely different person. He'd kicked the drugs, cleaned up his system, and started going hard in the gym, showing up ripped, clear-minded, and laser-focused like never before. But that's exactly when the internet lost it. People swore up and down that this couldn't be the same Gucci Mane. Some even claimed he'd been unlived while locked up and replaced by a secret government-made clone to cover it all up. The change was so shocking that fans didn't know whether to cheer him on or question everything they were seeing. Those wild clone theories only got louder once Gucci tied the knot with Keyshia. From the moment he got out, she wasn't just back in his life. She was running the whole show. Fans started pointing out how she handled everything, his social media, his image, even supposedly scheduling his doctor visits. It gave off major handler energy, and people online weren't afraid to say it loud. Then came the real explosion. Nicki Minaj stepped into the mess and publicly snapped at Keyshia after she brought Nicki up during a Breakfast Club interview. The internet went crazy because Nicki didn't sugarcoat a thing. She came straight for Keyshia's neck, saying that Keyshia was only there to keep Gucci doped up and to enjoy the lifestyle. Nicki said, "Gucci's wife been trying to be me for years, dying for the spotlight for years. She's there to keep Gucci sedated." Fans were stunned that Nicki even hinted at such a thing, and that's when the whole cloning talk caught fire all over again. People started saying that if Nicki Minaj, someone who actually knew Gucci, was throwing shade like that, maybe the clone theory wasn't so far-fetched after all. The internet turned into a battlefield overnight, with everyone arguing about whether we were seeing the real Gucci Mane or something much darker pretending to be him. Just when the buzz around Gucci started dying down, his ex, M Breezy, jumped in and blew the whole thing wide open again. About a year ago, she went online dropping some shocking claims, saying the man who walked out of prison wasn't the same Gucci she knew before.
Girl, you don't even know the real Gucci. Y'all think y'all know the real Gucci. Y'all don't know the real Gucci. That nigga parading around out here, that ain't the real Gucci, man. That's not him. I don't know what the fuck, honestly. Like, last time I seen Gucci was at Patchwork Studio in 2010. Cold Blooded was there. Was Mojo there? Yeah, I think Mojo, Cold Blooded. Like, that's the last time I saw Gucci in the flesh, but even that.
According to M Breezy, the moment she saw him after his release, she felt this eerie energy, like he was a whole new person, inside and out. That's when fans started whispering louder than ever. Was Gucci replaced? Something about him just didn't feel right, and M Breezy couldn't shake that gut feeling. Every time she tried to have a real conversation with him, Keyshia would pop up out of nowhere, acting super defensive and shutting things down quick. People online started saying it looked like Keyshia was trying to protect a secret. The vibe was strange, almost like she didn't want Breezy to get too close or start asking the wrong questions. Fans started joking. Maybe Keyshia's scared and Breezy might figure out the truth, that the man she's talking to ain't the real Gucci at all. Then, after Nicki Minaj called Keyshia out for allegedly being Gucci's handler, M Breezy came right back into the spotlight, and this time, she wasn't holding anything back. She released a whole track basically demanding for the real Gucci's body to be released, claiming that the person walking around now just didn't sit right with her spirit.
Yeah, free Gucci. Thinking what I'm thinking, man, something ain't right. Gucci, is you in there? It's so blank.
In the lyrics, she threw major shade, hinting that Keyshia knew way more than she was letting on. Fans went wild dissecting every line, convinced the song was filled with hidden messages about what really happened behind bars. The internet lit up again, and the clone theory, it went from a rumor to a full-blown obsession overnight. Eventually, Gucci decided it was time to speak up about all the clone talk that had taken over the internet. But instead of snapping back or sounding mad, he kept it calm and real. He tried to explain his transformation in his own words, saying, "In a way, I feel like I grew. I kind of morphed into a different person, shedding some of my old ways." Then he added, "I can say I grew up. I love the person I was, I love the person I am, and I love the person I grew to be. I tried to lose weight, take care of myself, change my thinking, my environment, and the ones that weren't benefiting me." It sounded genuine, like a man who really found peace after years of chaos. But even after all that, a lot of people still weren't buying it. Fans flooded social media saying, "That's not growth, that's a whole different dude." the clone theory didn't slow down one bit. It actually got louder. Folks kept pointing out little things: his face, his voice, his calm attitude, claiming it was all too perfect to be real. And then, just when everyone thought things couldn't possibly get any crazier, Kanye West popped back up and lit the internet on fire again. He hinted that Gucci Mane really might be a clone. Kanye's known for saying wild stuff about the industry, but what made everyone stop scrolling this time was the timing. It lined up too perfectly with everything already going on. Here's where it gets even wilder. Some people said Kanye himself was cloned too. According to that theory, the industry supposedly tried to replace him after he started exposing secrets, but it didn't work. And that's exactly why people believe Kanye knows Gucci's situation, because he's seen firsthand how far powerful insiders will go to keep control over their biggest artists. Out of nowhere, rapper Hopsin jumped into the chaos and took the whole Gucci clone story to a completely new level. During an IG live session, he straight up claimed that some high-up industry elites tried to force him into becoming Gucci Mane's clone. And if he didn't play along, they supposedly threatened his family. When he first said it, people laughed it off, thinking he was just trolling or adding fuel to the internet's wildest rumor. But now, with Kanye doubling down on his clone claims and all those strange inconsistencies around Gucci's post-prison comeback, fans are starting to wonder if Hopsin wasn't joking at all. Maybe he was actually hinting at something real, hiding the truth behind jokes. Just when everyone thought this story couldn't get any more twisted, another curveball dropped. A few alleged insiders started speaking out, claiming that Gucci's transformation wasn't just physical, it was programmed. They said when he came out of prison, he moved and talked like someone who'd been completely rewired. New tone, new attitude, even brand new body language. It wasn't just growth, they said. It was like watching a whole different person pretending to be Gucci Mane. That's when fans turned into full-on internet detectives. People began pulling old interviews and comparing them to recent ones, breaking down his speech, his smile, even the way he blinked. Side-by-side videos started flooding social media with captions like, "This ain't the same Gucci." Some users slowed down footage frame by frame, claiming his facial structure and tattoo placements didn't perfectly match the old ones. That one detail alone sent conspiracy pages into overdrive. Everyone was convinced the proof had finally surfaced. The internet exploded, and suddenly, Gucci Mane's so-called comeback was being treated like one of hip-hop's biggest mysteries ever. Then came the wildest whispers yet. Talk about secret government labs and hidden programs supposedly cloning celebrities to keep the music industry under control. Some people even claim that major record labels were in on it, saying they replace unpredictable artists with obedient copies who follow orders and push quiet agendas. It sounded like pure sci-fi madness, but fans were hooked. They started connecting every little clue, matching timelines, lyrics, even old interviews, like detectives on a mission. Meanwhile, Gucci stayed calm right through the storm. Instead of lashing out, he dropped a few mysterious posts that only made the internet go even crazier. One tweet in particular had people losing their minds. He wrote, "They can't copy my soul." That one line set the timeline on fire. Was it a denial, or was it him quietly admitting something without saying too much? Nobody could agree, and that made the theory grow even faster. No matter what side people stood on, everyone agreed on one thing. This whole clone Gucci saga just wouldn't die, and each new detail made it sound wilder than before. But just when folks thought they'd heard it all, another bombshell hit. People started picking apart Gucci's memories. Fans noticed that in interviews, he sometimes mixed up details about old events, forgetting specific names, dates, and moments that only the real Gucci would know. One clip went viral where he mentioned an event from 2011 that he clearly wasn't even part of, and the internet exploded. Comment sections were packed with messages like, "See, the clone slipped again." It was like every little word he said became evidence in a never-ending online investigation, and fans couldn't get enough of it. Then came what fans now call the voice glitch incident, the moment that sent the internet into full meltdown mode. During one of Gucci's live performances, his mic picked up a strange, robotic sound that people swore wasn't human. Viewers claimed his voice glitched mid-sentence before snapping back like a computer rebooting. It looked straight out of a sci-fi movie, and everyone watching lost it. Sure, skeptics tried to brush it off as a simple audio malfunction, but hardcore conspiracy fans said, "Nah, that was the clone's programming slipping." And just when people started debating whether it was real or not, another wild twist hit the timeline. A supposed ex-staff member came forward, claiming that Gucci purposely avoids certain people from his old life, especially the ones who knew him before prison. They said he doesn't recognize some of his old friends and acts weird when they bring up memories he should clearly remember. That one confession blew the internet wide open again. Suddenly, everyone was convinced the man walking free today wasn't the same one who went in years ago. Still, Gucci keeps moving like nothing's wrong. He's out here posting photos, performing, and dropping new tracks like he doesn't even notice the chaos around him.
Been personally playing for about 8 years now. It started around around Illmind 5 when that came out, because the song was so big, and then they told me I had to kind of sacrifice something. They said you're gonna have to pay it back because you just put this information out there, and this is gonna put people in the wrong mindset of what we're trying to do in society. So they told me that if I don't do these list of things, then they're going to hurt my family. And it was like an all white room, and they opened one of the doors, and it had a Gucci suit. A Gucci bodysuit. And I said, oh no, please don't tell me that is what I think it is.
But for the internet detectives, watching his every move, every smile, every lyric, and every awkward moment feels like a clue, proof that something way bigger is going on behind that calm, confident image. And just when the whole clone Gucci story seemed like it couldn't get any more insane, Kanye West stormed right back into the conversation. Once again, he hinted that Gucci Mane might not be who the world thinks he is. Kanye's been known for dropping outrageous claims before, but this time, people actually started listening because the timing felt too perfect. It lined up with Gucci's so-called rebirth. And now fans are convinced Kanye's not just talking crazy, he's warning everybody that the truth might finally be showing itself. And let's not forget, people once believed Kanye himself had been cloned too. Some fans swore the industry tried to replace him after he started speaking out, but they couldn't finish the job. And that's supposedly why he knows Gucci was cloned. Then there's rapper Hopsin, who once went live and claimed that powerful insiders tried to force him into becoming Gucci's clone, even threatening his family if he refused. At the time, everyone brushed it off as a wild joke. But now, with all these strange coincidences stacking up, fans are starting to think Hopsin might have been spilling the truth the whole time. People keep pointing out new creepy details too. One fan said, "We don't even see his eyes anymore. He had that deep brown stare, but now he's always hiding behind shades." Another added, "That's not him and we all know it." Comments like that just keep flooding in, and honestly, the internet can't stop picking apart every single move Gucci makes. Whether it's the way he talks, his energy, or how different his aura feels, people can't shake that gut feeling that something about him just doesn't line up. And if he's not a clone, then what's really going on? Maybe it's medication, maybe it's stress, or maybe, just maybe, way deeper happening behind the scenes. One thing's for sure though, this mystery refuses to die down, and every time Kanye or someone else speaks up, it just gets louder. So now it's your turn. What do you think? Did Kanye just expose one of the biggest secrets in hip-hop history, or is this all just internet madness spinning out of control? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment below if you want more deep dives into the wildest celebrity mysteries out there.